Hello, everyone. My name is Kathleen Johnson, and I am your host of the Kreactivators Podcast. I am a diversity, equity, and inclusion specialist, strategist, whatever you want to call me, is fine. I'm a creative professional by background, so I worked in film and television in Toronto. I was a member of Local 873, and I worked on major feature projects such as Beauty and the Beast, Suicide Squad, the first one, Umbrella Academy, Suits, a lot of Disney movies, and a lot of independent student projects. And that's how I kind of got started in that field. And was always doing some form of social justice work in whatever I did. So even when I worked in film and television, I was the artist you could go to that had colors for every complexion. And when I started in the mid 2000s, that wasn't the norm. It was still something where a lot of talent of color was told to bring their own foundation, or I can't do your hair. And so that was still very commonplace. It's still commonplace now, but is getting better. I noticed that organizations, schools that teach on hair and makeup are now expanding their repertoire because there's a lot of people of color all around us that need services. And so that's kind of how I started. And then I got into social justice in an official capacity after working at the legislature in BC. I started working in the health authority, specifically in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that's where I am now as part of my day jobby job. And also, I am co founder of Creative Culture Strategies. And in that organization, we incorporate a lot more creativity into what we're doing. And so we're able to use things like music and art to help people connect in terms of teams, in terms of each other, but also about and around really difficult topics like racism, misogyny, homophobia, and all of those things. Um, Diversity, equity, and inclusion work is human rights. So it's not going anywhere. It has not gone anywhere. As a matter of fact, a lot of organizations are doubling down. So for every organization that you hear rolled it back or got rid of it, such is not the case for the most part. Yes, even in the United States. I am based in Vancouver, Canada, and here it definitely is not going anywhere. Diversity, equity, and inclusion has been a part of helping organizations meet their obligations inside of institutions when it comes to employment rights and all kinds of other human rights statutes. So that's that part. One of the major goals I have of this podcast is to marry the worlds of creativity and corporate. And that is because I feel that creativity is one of the greatest vehicles in bringing people together over issues that are inherently divisive. And how can we help to break down those walls when we're talking about these very difficult things that need to be talked about? The employment environment is very different than it was even when I started working like late 90s. Is very different. When I started in the workforce, all you had to do was show up and do your job. I didn't expect my boss to care about me. I didn't expect my organization to take a stand on any social issue. I just went to work and did my job. Now, a lot of people wish those days would come back. They are not coming back. Millennials, particularly younger millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha coming into the workforce, they want to know what their company stands for. They want to know how they can contribute beyond their 9 to 5 or their particular job description. And they want mental health days. They want to look after themselves. They want work-life balance. So it's very different. And rightfully so. They saw us work, and I saw my parents work, um, their fingers to the bone, really, and have these organizations and institutions that they're dedicating so much of their life to really not care about them. And so very, very welcome the shift there. Um, so what I do here is I interview artists that have something to say about what's going on in our world, and how creativity can help people come together on these issues, but also help you find your voice in it. What do you think? And a lot of artists over time have helped us do that. We've had Bob Marley's, we've had Tupac Shakur's, we've had even groups from back in the day, like the Beatles, or the folk music of a Joni Mitchell or a Joan Baez. These kinds of acts have always helped us figure out where we stood. A lot of the time when we couldn't speak for ourselves, the music spoke for us, or the films spoke for us. I remember being in high school and watching Boys in the Hood, and I was so into hip hop, and well, still am very into hip hop culture, and thinking there's something raw here that is speaking to me. And so I went down that exploration, and have very much connected to that. And it's often mediums like that they can articulate our frustrations. They can help us celebrate our wins, help us process trauma. And so on this show, you will see everybody from rappers to researchers. And that is so that this space becomes a more democratized space. I really do believe that diversity, equity, and inclusion is for everybody. And it hasn't always been advertised that way, or people have not always thought about it that way. And I really think that this whole creative focus can really start to tear down the walls, and also pull this work down from the upper echelons of high academia, and really make it something that isn't just a bunch of words and terms that you don't understand, that sound too big, that take like a whole hour session to unpack, and getting it back to the ground and giving it back to the people. So if you want to come with me on this journey, please tune in. I do interviews in studio. I also do interviews virtually on this platform, and really look forward to having more conversations with a lot of different types of people. Like, honestly, there's something that everybody can pick up from guests that I have on, and really looking forward to more and more and more coming out where people want to talk about these things. Um, just in the last little while, I've had on Juno Award winning rappers. For anybody watching in the United States, a Juno is our equivalent to the Grammys. I've had people like that on. And when I've had folks like that on, guess what? We wind up talking about things like imposter syndrome, and all these types of things. And so people that are creative professionals often just get asked about their latest project, or what have you. And what I really wanted to do here was delve into what they really think. It's very um, rare that an artist is really asked, okay, what do you think about XYZ issue? And giving them a chance to expand on that and show that they are whole human beings, and there's a range of things they can comment on, not just their latest album. So I hope you enjoy this journey, and that you're along for the ride with me. Stay tuned. We have a lot more coming.